Hello again and welcome back to the channel. So today is a bit of a long overdue video. Unfortunately I missed this weekend's one, just not feeling great, still not feeling perfect, but I'm still going to get the content out to you. So I put a post on my YouTube channel of which car out the newest updates you guys would like to see. And interestingly enough, it wasn't my personal favourite, but the winner was the new C8 Corvette. So this is the first ever mid-engine Corvette. And you're looking at about just under 500 horsepower and just over 1,500 kilos. So this is going to be interesting. 8-speed dual clutch gearbox, so it should be a good blast round the ring. Now, in case you missed it, you would have seen in the previous video, I've got some stickers. Now, these are clear stickers, are all individually numbered, 1 to 69, and these will be available for free to you guys and girls out there. So if you want one, click on the link below in the social media and just drop me a message and I'll send one of these to you completely free. Just send a picture of how you've stuck it on there and I'll repost that on the social medias. So I hope to see some more of these out. The first batch have already gone out, so if you want yours, go get it. Until then, let's get to this lap and see how fast this Corvette goes. Right, the C8 Corvette, most requested car to be seen out of this pack of cars. So let's see how it does versus the Nurburgring. So across the start finish line up to 4th, hard on the brakes, so quite early on, get that nose in and accelerate on the exit there. Nice, there we go. Right, pulling on the power all the way down the hill, dab a brake, keep that nose in, there we go, squeeze on the power, picking up some decent speed now and then hard on the brakes. Quite early on the brakes, I feel like the one thing that is holding this car back from being faster is the brakes. I feel like a couple of times the car doesn't feel too heavy on power or while you're driving, change your direction, but it feels quite heavy once you get on the brakes. Right, out the first technical section and we've made it. So this car is undeniably American. You can feel it in the way the engine just revs. Like, the engine doesn't rev out very far and doesn't feel like it wants to. It kind of feels quite lazy, like almost like an engine out of a Continental GT kind of car. It just wants to cruise really, which feels a bit at odds with the mid-engine design. Maybe an engine that was a bit more fizzy and a bit more alive would have been nicer. On the brakes for Schreienkreuz, almost went off the track there, and hard on the brakes. You can see how hard I'm trying to put pressure through the brake pedal and get this thing to slow down at times. Right, flat out through the foxholes. Now 500 horsepower and 1,530 kilos. So this thing is fast. Maybe not as fast as I expected. And on the brakes early there. Otherwise we would not make the corner. So down to 2nd for the chicane. Now, how does this car feel? This was the most requested car. Wasn't the one that I was most looking forward to in the pack. I might do that next. But it's a car where, you know what, it feels really enjoyable to drive and pretty fast at 8/10. But I feel once you want to get to that 9-10 tenths that we're trying to do here, the car kind of comes out of its comfortability window. It feels like a fish out of water. Hard on the brakes downhill. We'll use 3rd gear and all that torque on the exit. There we go. Right, into this fast chicane here. You can see the front end doesn't quite know what it wants to do. Doesn't really want to commit to turning in. Miss. You can see the understeer that we're getting and hesitance on the throttle. Right, hard on the brake. Slowest corner on the track. Now traction though, let's see here, great. Bounce the limiter in 2nd and great traction on the way out. But it's just now opposite on the brakes. Look at that understeer. Gets a little bit tricky there. Right, fast right kink here. Get the nose turned in. Okay, this is where it should be able to try and catch up some time. So we can open up the legs. Now what kind of time is this car going to do? I think when I looked at it on paper, I was thinking around about a 7 minutes 30. Now having driven the car on the out lap, I'm feeling more of a 7:45 kind of guy in this car. Right, let's unleash those horses behind us now. Up the hill, you can see the understeer again now. I'm having to get out the throttle because I just can't commit to the corner. Oh, we've touched the grass there. Oh, that was close. Nearly ended up in the barrier. Right, up the hill. We are accelerating, but not at a horrendous rate of knots. Bravery corner though, up here. Down on the hard on the brakes. Whoa, that was not an easy corner at all. Car was not happy through there in the slice. Right, up over the rise. Try and sneak a bit of curve there. Right, hard on the brakes. Oh, you can see you still missed the apex. Been on the brakes early there. Right, used to torque a third out. Right, the carousel. This is going to be a tricky little devil. I think we're going to stick it in third and just try and work with the torque of the engine. Understeer, understeer, understeer. But good traction out there. Really pulls nicely. This is a tricky car at this kind of limit. Right, up the hill. Going to have to back off coming through there, or otherwise we would not have made the corner. Right, dab a brake, get the nose in. This is where it's going to start struggling, I think. Fourth gear, down to third. Get the nose in. Having to work the car really hard. It's just kind of, you know, when you've got a child that is having a temper tantrum, and whatever you do, the child just does not want to cooperate. That's how this car feels at this point. It just feels like it's really not where it's happy. Whoa. Right, down the hill. Yeah, the confidence. Maybe like come back with this car with maybe a stickier front tyre or a front splitter. You might be able to shave quite a bit of time off this thing. Right, squeeze on the power out, brunching. Again, I'm early on the brakes. I was worried I'm just not going to make the corner otherwise. Up over the rise, there we go. Now we'll fly around here. Oh god, rear end again. Up to fifth though. Down to fourth, get the nose in, try and use the torque, but the car's sliding around quite a lot. Right, Stefan Belafis is going to lift off there because the front end went very, very light. There we go, a little bit of grass there, but it'll be okay. Bit of curb there. Right, worst two corners on the track. Hard on the brake quite early there, just searching for where the front end is going to be. And then down into this left-hander. And they use the power on the exit. Right, we're going to use third gear for this carousel again. Get it down nice and low. There we go. Careful on the traction on the exit. There we go. Right, last corner before Dot and Gahur. Use a bit of engine braking there just to try and slow the car down a little bit more. There's the understeer though. Maybe committed a bit too early. Right, exit. Right, this thing has 8 gears, remember, and we're fifth. It feels like this is not pulling that fast. It feels like 7th and 8th are purely for economy. No other reason, because look, that's 6th. We're pulling 172 miles an hour, but there's no use for 7th and 8th other than economy. Right, flat out underneath the Bilstein Bridge. This is going to be a tricky corner here. We're going to have to get off the power, but dab a brake. Car's gone very light all of a sudden, and then hard on the brakes. Get it over that curb, back to third, squeeze on the power. Right, final corner. Let's see what this car has done. Right, drive for the line. Come on, through the gears, up to fourth, and across the line. Oh, I think, you know what? I reckon this car, if you did it at 8/10, you'd enjoy it quite a lot more. If you had a passenger, it'd probably scare the crap out of them. And it's that kind of car. It's maybe the kind of car that you'd take on last thing on a Sunday afternoon around the Nürburgring, just as a wind down. But it's not really the kind of car that I feel like you want to attack this place in. But let's see how it's done on the lap times. Wow, that has actually astonished me. It did get to where I thought it would when I went to jump into this car, which is a 730. So it's done a 728.8. I'm actually quite impressed with that. That seems a lot faster than I was expecting with how much hard work that is. Put maybe a front splitter or a wider, stickier front tyre, and wow, this thing's going to be incredibly fast. Let's see where it sits amongst all the other cars now. So a 728 takes it just behind a Ferrari Enzo and just in front of a Ford GT. So actually that's kind of lined up pretty well with where I thought it would have beforehand. But wow, this was a lot of hard work. I think if you backed off, as I said, during the lap to about 8/10, you've probably done maybe a 740, a 735, and been a lot calmer about it. But getting that extra little speed out of this thing is incredibly hard, and I have to say, not that rewarding. So it was interesting. So I think maybe the next lap we'll do is maybe the car that I was most looking forward to, and seeing how that compares. So if you want to see it, come and join us again. If you want a sticker, remember, pop down to the social media down below and ping me a message and I'll send you out a sticker. Until then, goodbye.